All right, guys. Welcome to your week one fantasy football commissioner address. I'm very excited to start the season off with a win, as I'm sure five other teams are in this league. During these weekly addresses, I'm going to go over a couple different things. I'm going to go over the matchups from the previous week, who won, who lost, maybe just a quick little overview of how it played out. I'm going to go over who won the $5 category, and then I'm going to go over the next week matchups, predictions, kind of what it looks like. So let's get into it. So the first matchup I'm going to go over is myself versus Coach Therrell. Coach Therrell, you still need to come up with the team name. The whole last name thing isn't working. I recently changed mine as of about 30 minutes ago to Derek Carr and the Cowboys because I somehow ended up with freaking 4 Cowboys in my starting lineup. So I guess I'll just roll with it as long as Zeke stays and whatever. So I won 122 to 102. Got some notes here for each game that I'll just kind of give a quick highlight on. Try to get this done as quick as possible. So Coach Therrell, Isaiah Crowell got you 10 points. That was lucky. He had a 2-point conversion and, a couple catches. So I don't know why you drafted him anyways. He's a Browns running back. Fournette, though, he did you great. 21 points. I did not expect that from him. We thought you drafted him a little too high, but hey, if he keeps doing that, he's going to pay off. You should have played Gillislee. He is playing the same exact role as LeGarrette did, and he averages about 5.5 yards per carry. So you should have done your research, should have played him. You put any back like that, getting goal line carries with the Patriots, you got to play him, okay? I don't care what the matchup is. My team, I made all the right moves this week. I mean, I could have played a couple different people, maybe gotten a couple extra points, but all in all, I mean, I played the right moves. I'm going to stick with Derek Carr. I like my backup, but, Derek Carr, he's in my team name. I got to keep him. He's my picture. I will admit I have too many Dallas players. I don't like having a lot of players on one team, but at least hopefully I'll get all the points that Dallas scores, and I really hope Zeke doesn't get suspended during our playoffs. I'm hoping he plays all year, but there's talks that he might service 6 games later. Apparently, the girl who accused him was freaking lying. She was lying about a lot of different things, so her arguments are now kind of thrown out the window, and you can't really take them all seriously. So hopefully Zeke plays all year, and then that pick will pay off, and I will destroy every single one of you all year. Maybe even go undefeated. It's looking like that. The marquee matchup of next week, I'll spoil it right now. It's me and Colin. Colin and my team. I'm sorry, Colin's going to be in a lot of marquee matchups. He's got a good team. So do I. It's going to be a good one next week. But let's get on to the next matchup from week one. Colin versus Coach Partney. This was the marquee matchup of week one. And oh boy, was it the highest scoring game. I called it. I knew it would be. They both have really good teams. Let's go over it. Colin won 151 to 131. He can give a lot of those points to Kareem Hunt. He can thank him for a great freaking first week. Maybe the steal of the draft if he keeps it up. I know it's only week one, but he's going to have a really heavy workload in Kansas City. Andy Reid likes to work those running backs. Kansas City always has worked their running backs. They've had freaking Priest Holmes. They had Larry Johnson. They had Jamal Charles, who's with the Broncos now. And now it could be Kareem Hunt. He could be the guy. Rams D, 29 points, I think. I don't have it up, but I have my notes. I think they had 29. That's huge, too. So if those two just have, good games, we would have had a really close matchup there. Everyone else did pretty average. They kind of did, what Colin would have wanted them to do. Partney, you played a great week. A couple things didn't go your way, but you would have beaten anyone else in the league. You would have beaten anyone else in the league if you weren't playing Colin. So, I give it up to you. you did all you could. Kareem Hunt just beat you. Let's see. Gronk didn't produce. He's kind of sketchy. You never know what you're going to get with him. That's why I kind of passed on him. But he could still have his breakout year. I mean, he's freaking Gronk. And he's really cool, too, anyway. So you might as well have him on your team. Sanders, he was last year. He was kind of like hot and cold. He'd have 30 points one game, 6 the other, 14. So a little sporadic. But if you get, a good game out of him, you'll be set. So that was a good matchup. That one was fun to watch. It almost came down to the final game. Kareem Hunt just put up too many points. Next up was Nick versus Coulter. Nick, I still don't understand your name, the McNasty Goon Squad. Hey, if you might need to change that if you keep losing. Maybe incorporate Russell Wilson in it or Melvin Gordon. I don't know. You have Joe Mixon. I have Zeke. We'd be like the. I'm not even gonna say that joke. So, anyways, Coulter won, 117-96. Coulter, I bashed your team hard after the draft, but after looking at it, I think you have a pretty solid group of people. We'll go with Nick's people first. Russ, he did really bad. He only got you 8 points. You can expect more. This easily could have been a lot closer if Nick had a couple guys do something. Melvin Gordon did his thing. Let's see. You didn't really leave anyone on the bench. I would have played Russell Wilson over Carson Wentz every day. It sucks that Jay Ajayi had that week 1 bye. That screwed over a lot of people. But you'll have him for the rest of the year. He won't get like a break or rest or anything, but he'll be a pretty good guy for the rest of the year. Everyone else, Nick, did pretty average. Jimmy Graham kind of pulled a Gronk and didn't do much. I don't know if that's because the Saints are running the ball. Oh, Seattle. Shit, my bad. I don't know if it's just because Russell had a horrible outing in Green Bay or what, but it was close. Stephon Diggs is awesome. I really like Stephon Diggs. I had him very high on my draft boards. I just, for some reason, took Kelvin Benjamin. Pissing me off. But Coulter, good team. Woodhead got hurt. That sucks. He's a PPR monster when he's healthy. But it's kind of funny to see him go down because he went down, I think it was week 1 last year, too. It was really early. So, I don't know. You'll have to put Bilal Powell in there and hope he does something. Cooper Kupp was a great pickup. I was late on the freaking trigger with that one in both my leagues. So, I think he will be consistent all the year as long as Goff continues to throw the football like he did in week 1. Coulter, your name is also brilliant. I like it. I don't know if you cheated and Googled one to see if you could get it, but I like that a lot. What other notes do I have written down? Okay, Nick, Joe Mixon. I like him. I like that you picked him up in the trade because eventually he could work his way into being the number 1 back there. It's just going to take time and a little bit of hope. So, Nick, you still have a pretty solid team. I think you'll do all right as long as Joe Mixon ends up being the guy in Cincy. On to the next. All right, we have Brad versus Jeremy. Pretty decent names. Brad, your name's a little odd, but that's all right. I expect that from you. Tom Brady didn't do too well. Shady, I love LaShawn McCoy. He's a consistent 20-point per game guy, which sometimes you'd rather have. I'll take less points at the end of the year if my guy will consistently get me 20 every game. I don't want someone that's going to get me 8 and then 30 or 40 and then 6 and 2. And I like Shady as a pick. Ty Montgomery did really well. If he keeps that up, you have a very solid team. Allen Robinson out for the year. You didn't pick up Allen Hurns. I did. So you're going to have to replace him with not much. You have John Brown. He's the only receiver on your bench. So it looks like you have to do some tinkering with your lineup to get through. If Allen Hurns would have produced, though, you would have had a pretty high score as well. Jeremy, your team just didn't do anything, which sucks. That's part of fantasy. Some weeks you're going to have just nobody do anything and nothing goes your way. But you do have a good team, so you have that to look forward to. I think you'll be a playoff contender. This week 1 loss really hurts. Also, Jeremy, what's with you not downloading Venmo? Coach Therrell also won't do it, but it's okay. He's old. You're young though. You should be okay with downloading Venmo and sending money. But you did pay your league dues. That's all that matters, and I'm very satisfied. Colin, you still need to pay yours. We already had this talk. Anyways, both of your teams are good. You guys both, throughout the season, I think are going to be real contenders. These next two matchups, I'm going to have a lot of fun talking about those. So let's get into it. Next up, the Upper Deckers, Jason's team, versus House Starkathon, one of the two. I don't watch House of Thrones, or Game of Thrones, whatever, so I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm assuming that's what it's from. So, Hunter with the win. Hunter picked players that you know what you're going to get from them. Fitz, listen to this. Hunter has the oldest team in the league. Fitzgerald, old, very old. Martellus Bennett, old. Frank Gore, old. Drew Brees. I didn't even realize Frank Gore was still in the league getting 1,000 yards a season. 1,000 yards per scrimmage for five plus seasons in a row, something. I don't know, but he's old but he still freaking gets points. So Frank Gore, Drew Brees, Jordan Howard's sketchy because that Tarek Cohen from Chicago, I watched him. I have Red Zone, so I was watching him. They used him really well. Hopefully he doesn't take too much away from Jordan Howard, but Hunter, you have a solid team and I really like it. 29 points from the Jackson D. That really helped you out. Let's get on to Jason's team. Jason, your team is not good in my opinion. You started Duke Johnson and Amir Abdullah at running back. Amir Abdullah could be good, but then look at your bench. You have Latavius Murray, who I just dropped in my other league, and Wendell Smallwood. Your running backs combined scored you 4, 11, 13, about 14 points. That's bad. That is really bad. You're going to have to make some moves, some trade offers. You might have to give up Mike Evans for a wide receiver 2 and a running back that's like a starter. That would be a running back 2, just so that you can get those points in different ways. I don't know. You have Willie Snead, so you might be able to trade Mike Evans and then use Snead later, but I just don't see you making the playoffs with that team. Jason, I don't know what you're thinking on draft night. That's just horrible ownership. If I was, more like, I don't know, man. It's just bad. You have a good name, though. I like the name. I like your picture. And you're active in the league, so that's awesome. You just might need to prepare a little more next year on draft night because you can definitely win or lose on draft night, and we're seeing that here. If you continue losing, I'm going to freaking let you know all year that it was because of the draft. So, all right, last matchup coming up. All right, last matchup. We have Blaine versus Alex, the Super Smash Bro rivalry, and possibly the best team name of anyone for Blaine. And Alex, you also need to change your team name. I don't know why it's still House Graham. Is that a Thrones reference or something? Either way, I don't like it. I think you should change it. But let's get into the actual game from week 1. So Blaine won 99-66. He didn't put up 100, but he still came out with a victory. His team was playing good defense this week against Alex's, I guess you could say, because Alex only scored 66. That's not good. When looking closer at his team, he made the right moves. He put in the right players, except for he should have put in Sanu for OBJ. I know it was kind of a game time decision to know if OBJ was playing. Should have picked up, I don't know, somebody else that was playing in that game and just thrown him in. But either way, I don't think he would have won if you would have put someone else in. Your team just did not do anything. Fantasy's just kind of lucky. You're going to have some bad weeks. You had yours week 1. So hopefully you got it out of the way with. Cam Newton looked bad week 1. I had Kelvin Benjamin and I was watching him. He looked bad. He's coming off that shoulder surgery. He just wasn't throwing it too well. His touchdown was kind of a fluke. The guy should have been tackled. But either way, I think you'll be all right, dude. That's what I have in my notes is that you'll be fine. You'll make it past this week 1. You just have to hope your guys start doing more in order to make the playoffs. Because if they kind of stay average, It won't be too good for you. Blaine, best name in the league. Also, most offensive name in the league. Brad's your number 2, but since you put those asterisks in on the you-know-what word, yours isn't the most offensive. So you won, Blaine, but you also lost in the long run because David Johnson is out. Out. And from what I'm looking at, you didn't pick up his backup. You didn't pick up Williams, I think is his name, and you also didn't pick up Ellington. Ellington might still be available. I didn't pick him up, but might want to go do that. Also, Christian McCaffrey, he got a lot of touches, just didn't really produce. They were kind of keying him a lot because Cam wasn't doing anything else. Excuse me, but T.Y. Golden Tate, Travis Kelce, C.J. Anderson, all the dudes there, you'll be fine. You can fill in people. Macklin had a good first week, so you'll throw him in there. You'll be good. Blaine, great team though. 1-0 start. That's good. So we have to start off the season. I'm 1-0. I'm doing this in my head. Collins 1-0. Coulter's 1-0. Brad's 1-0. Hunter's 1-0. Blaine is 1-0. So for all those 1-0 teams, congrats. For all those 0-1 teams, it's just week 1. We got 10 more weeks until the playoffs. Oh, I'm excited. For the week 1 category, the winner was Collins. So he'll win $5. We're not going to pay out until the end of the season. We'll divvy it all out. I'll keep note. You guys can keep note too to keep me honest and double check my work at the end of the season. Maybe I'll edit that Facebook post and pin it to the top of our group so that we can always have that there. But Kareem Hunt freaking went off. 148 rushing yards with a touchdown, but that's not what we're looking at. We're looking at receiving yards. 5 receptions, 98 yards, 73 of those coming off 1 catch, and 2 touchdowns in the air too. So, Colin, you deservingly, rightfully won this $5 for week 1. Kareem Hunt already paying off, whether he pans out or not. He already won you $5. So, good job there. Good job there. Next week, I'll have to look it up. You guys can look on the Facebook page. I can't remember. I think it has something to do with receivers, but we'll get into that.
All right, while editing this video, I realized that it was going way too long, so I'm going to rapid fire these week 2 matchups. And to start, marquee matchup for week 2, myself and Colin. I'm going with myself, obviously. Then we have Brad versus Coach Therrell. I'm going with Brad here. Bell Needs a Blunt versus Upper Deckers, Jason versus Jeremy. I'm going with Jeremy here until Jason figures out what the hell he's doing with the squad. Then we have Coach Partney versus Nick. I'm going with Coach Partney. He has just a better team. Then we have Hunter versus Blaine. I will go with Hunter here just because of consistency. And then we have Coulter versus Alex. I'm going with Coulter.
But I'm excited. I'm excited for this season, guys. I really am. I'm in 2 different leagues. The other league took precedent last year over this one, but we got money on the line. We got more people that are active. People are taking it more seriously. So I'm really excited. Not a lot of trash talking in this first video just because not much has happened. It's only week 1. So once we get some more games under our belts, more drama will happen, more people will get injured, more mistakes will be made by all of you idiots, especially on the waiver and free agent wire. You guys suck at that, by the way. Big notes for week 1 so far, I guess. Alex, I don't like your name, and I don't like that you have a logo. Who else was it that... Therrell, I don't like that you don't have a name yet or a logo. And David Johnson's out. Those are the big stories. So I think Blaine will be all right. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Next week, if you guys have any requests or suggestions on what I need to do differently or talk more crap, talk less about the actual games, I'm listening to you guys. So let me know what you think. Get on the Facebook, get on the chat, start talking trash to people. Week 2, right around the corner.